Hello and welcome to our presentation on Talent LMS, our path to a learning management system. Learning objectives. Given access to Talent LMS, the learner will be able to create, edit, and add content, such as PowerPoint on Talent LMS, create discussion modules on Talent LMS, upload SCORM and XAPI files onto Talent LMS, and obtain data from the SCORM and XAPI files uploaded onto Talent LMS. Why Talent LMS? Talent LMS has many beneficial features. We will focus in on a few. First, Talent LMS is a user-friendly and navigable system. Talent LMS is cloud-based. Administrators can start and stop their creating at any time. Talent LMS has an existing database of how videos and articles for administrators and a library of pre-made courses for learners. Talent LMS has a variety of options for interactivity. Talent LMS has a capacity for data tracking. Talent LMS. Now we will look more closely at some of the key features discussed. The first feature we discussed is the user-friendly nature of Talent LMS. Talent LMS has a user-friendly interface which makes it easy for both administrator and user to access. As an administrator, we can toggle between administrator, instructor, or learner view. From the administrator homepage, we have access to a lot of features. The administrator can add users, can add categories, can add a branch, can add a user type, can monitor and check reports. The administrator can also add courses, add a group, add notifications, can import and export, and also has an option of account options and settings. Another key feature that is not immediately obvious is that Talent LMS is cloud-based. This means that both the administrator and the learner are able to stop and continue from any point. The administrator and learner are able to access the learning from various locations, including a desktop, a laptop, tablet, or smartphone. The Talent LMS system does have a course store. There is an existing database and library of articles and videos with step-by-step instructions on how to create, add, and edit content on Talent LMS that would be helpful for administrators. For example, under the Help option, we have access to how-to videos and articles. As mentioned, there's also an existing library of e-learning content in a variety of fields that the organization can easily adopt, modify, and implement. The major collections are highlighted on the right side. For example, business, skills, human resources, leadership, personal development. The last feature highlighted is a variety of options available for interactivity. This feature is actually multiple tools that we'll look at more closely. As an overview, they are the following. The administrator is able to create courses with all media types, including videos, presentations, documents, SCORM files, XAPI files, and CMI5 files. The instructor and administrator are also able to add courses. The administrator is able to build quizzes, tests, and surveys. Both administrator and instructor are also able to create groups. Once a group is created, we can mass assign learning tasks, quizzes, tests, and surveys. Now we will take a closer look at their interactive features. We will focus in on adding content. The following is a brief tutorial. From the administrator homepage, click on Add Course. From Add Course, Proceed with entering the course name. For our purpose, we will name it California High School Counselor. For category, we will enter Education. For description, we will enter a brief description. For our purpose, we will enter an introduction course for California High School Counselors switching schools. We will click the button to list it as an active option. Then we will click the small arrow in the blue Save and select Save and Add Content. From here, we will see all of the interactive options. When you click over the Add option, you'll see that there's a variety of options, including video, audio, presentation, SCORM, test, surveys. For this exercise, we're going to go ahead and enter a presentation document. We will go ahead and add a unit name. And we'll click the Upload a Document to enter a PowerPoint. Once your PowerPoint has been added and uploaded, you can click the blue Save and View. For the purpose of this presentation, we'll skip this section for the sake of time. This presentation has already been uploaded and can be found in the files on the right-hand side. As noted, once the presentation is uploaded from the previous slide and demonstration, it will redirect us to this page. The presentation, again, has already been uploaded and it's under the Files on the right hand side, and you can see it's been uploaded, and you can also preview it by clicking the preview button. You can repeat these steps for any additional courses that need to be added. Next, we will create a discussion. Please note that for this, we are going to be going from the administrator to instructor access. From the instructor homepage, we will be able to see our course. On the right hand side, we are able to see a list of courses, groups, conferences, discussions, and calendar. To create a discussion, select Add Discussion on option under the Discussion tab on the right hand side. This will generate an automated new topic. For our purpose, I will add a topic and message. For the topic, I will type, "Why are counselors so awesome?" And for the message, I will enter, "List one reason why." It's recommended to keep the topic box short and expand in the message box. There is an option to include an attachment, which I will leave blank. Lastly, we have the option of filtering of who will have access to see the discussion. I want everyone to see it, so I will list everybody can see this topic. Then I will hit the Post button. As you can see, the discussion post has been created. Next, we will provide a tutorial on adding SCORM and XAPI files. We must first enable XAPI files, as the default setting for Talent LMS does not have it enabled. So for this, we're going to make sure to go back to the administrator. And from the administrator homepage, scroll over, go to, then select Account and Settings tab. Once in Account and Settings, we will scroll down and select both boxes next to Enable API and Enable XAPI. After enabling both, we will continue to scroll down and make sure to hit the blue Save button. Once we have enabled API and XAPI, we can proceed with adding SCORM and XAPI files. For this, we'll go back to the home screen. It is very similar to the process discussed earlier for adding the point PPT PowerPoint. For this, we will need to switch back to administrator login, as I mentioned. It's the same process, so we'll select Add Course. We'll go ahead and enter a course name. For this, I'm going to name it E-Learning Analytics. I'll list it as a sample, and the description is E-Learning Sample. We'll go ahead and hit this Active button, then same process, save and add content. On this next page, we will select the blue Add box, and then click on SCORM, XAPI, CMI5. For the unit name, we will enter e-learning analytics, and select on the upload a SCORM XAPI or CMI5 zip file. We will allow the zip file to upload, which may take a bit. Once uploaded, we will select the blue Save and View box. This will become blue once it's fully updated. It has fully uploaded, so we can select Save and View. On the next step, it will enter under Process, and once the process is completed, we will be able to access. The file has uploaded, and we now have access to the XAPI file on Talent LMS. We will now navigate back to the home screen, the administrator home screen. Please note that it is the same process if you want to add a SCORM file. The last interactive feature we will dive into is data tracking and keeping tabs of our reports. Now that we have an XAPI file, we can gather data. On the administrator home screen, clicking on the Reports tab will redirect us to an overview where we are able to track individual and group interactivity, as well as better understand how the learners are engaging with the content. On the Overview tab, we learn that for this exercise, we have one active user and one course completion. If we take a look at the Infographics tab, we can gather insights on participation, engagement, progress, and completion rate. The Training Matrix tab allows us to see that R. Rodriguez is enrolled in 3 different courses. Lastly, the Timeline tab allows us to see a timeline with all engagement and updates on our e-learning content. In summary, and to conclude, Talent LMS is a great learning management system for our organization. As discussed, it has many beneficial features that includes being user-friendly, working on a cloud-based system, having a pre-existing database and library, having various interactivity tools, and having the capacity to track data. Thank you for your time, effort, and consideration.